Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Robbie B, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher.
Yo, dog.
Mike Haspel.
Eternal Shiny and Chrome.
And we have a special guest tonight, Bartos from Southern Painting and one of the newest writers on Spikey Bits. What's up?
What's up, fanatics?
Yo. Good to see everybody back. Everybody have a good holiday?
It was epic. And I think this is the first podcast 2016.
Boom.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It's cool.
You heard it here first. Juice couldn't join us tonight. We'll talk about that a little later on in the show, of course. But lots happening. Lots happening out there in the G-Dub and the other tabletop gaming world. Some formations are coming out hot and heavy. You know, we're recording this on a Wednesday night, and they're dropping all over the place. So we wanted to hit that up real quick in the Tabletop Market Watch. So why don't we get to that real quick?
Let's do it, my man.
All right. So first off, there's some new formations. There's 6 new formations that correspond with the new starter collection boxes, which I think, you know, we talked about this on the webcast, Kenny. What do these things remind you of?
These are like the old battle forces.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. I know Mike can appreciate that too, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Because it's it's like there used to be this like cool way to get started with the 40k and also, you know, fantasy, and there are some Age of Sigmar ones. We're not, you know, too 100% concerned with those.
They were all less than $100.
Yeah, there were, you know, some of them were like 60, but generally they were like $75. These are all $85, which I feel like for the hobby is pretty affordable.
It's a significant savings. I mean, the one I'm keeping my eye on is the Cult Mechanicus one, or the Skitarii one, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big savings. It comes with like a Dune Crawler and Skitarii Rangers and a Tech Priest Dominus. The
Dominus is $35.
It's by itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like right there, you're saving a lot of money.
Yeah, because I think the Dune Crawler is like $50 by itself, and that's almost the price of the box.
Yeah, so it's like you're getting the Rangers for free, and all the boxes are valued like that.
Oh yeah, no doubt there. And what I really like so much about these things is I didn't realize it, but on the inside of these boxes there are formations apparently, and they're starting to break. Some folks over in Europe on Warseer typed them up and put them out, and I'm sure we'll see them here soon. Don't know a whole lot about them yet, but supposedly each one is a formation in and of itself. Which is really cool, because new players, they buy this box, and instead of, remember back in the day, they're like, yo, how many points do I get in this Battle Force box?
Yeah.
Now it's like, yo, I get a formation.
Absolutely. So there's actually a reason to keep, you know, those old models, not like the old Dark Eldar Space Marines box I bought back in the day. After I got even mildly competitive, I was like, well, that was a complete waste of fucking money, because this shit's garbage, you know?
Yeah, that thing was a terrible matchup. But now you got these coming out where, yeah, there might not be like incredible competitive units in there, but you get basically an HQ, you basically get a troop, and you get some sort of cool, nifty, heavy, or like elite choice in there. Like with the Space Marines, you get a tactical squad, a dreadnought, a venerable dreadnought, and that super sweet Terminator captain.
That's pretty much what you get. I mean, you always get like these iconic figures for the armies in these boxes, and it suits with the 7th edition. They give you the rules for new stuff, so it's a perfect move on GW's part.
Yeah, I love the direction they're going. You know, the bring your friends in, get a voucher thing, the new start a new army thing. Who knows where we're going from? Obviously, there's a bunch of dwarf stuff coming out, and I think the models look great. Have you guys seen them?
Yeah, the new crazy like lava dwarves, or I don't know what they're called. They're fire riding. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's like crazy.
Yeah, they look tight. They're like some.
I'm not gonna lie. I have I got home from Colorado. Obviously, was up there in the holidays, doing some stuff. You know, trying to track down a monk on top of a mountain to upgrade my painting skills. Came home with an Xbox One and Fallout 4, and literally the only times I've come up for air were to paint models, grab a few paint jobs on some models, you know, edit a battle report, and this podcast. I literally have no idea what you guys are talking about right now.
You and George R. R. Martin.
Yeah,
Like
George,
he had to come up and say that his next book is delayed, and he didn't say it, but I'm blaming Fallout 4.
it's always Fallout 4.
Oh
it was
my gosh.
Skyrim last time.
Was it? He actually.
Oh yeah.
Oh
his
my
his
God.
release date coincided like basically right in the middle of his of the time he was writing his book, like 11/11. It was November 2011 is when Skyrim dropped. Literally like 4 weeks after Skyrim, they're like, it's gonna be late. So for us gamers, we know exactly what that means.
Oh wow.
He better start writing that book fast because I'm getting pretty pissed at Mr. Martin.
Yeah, no doubt. That's super crazy. Oh man. Oh, that actually reminds me of something I was thinking about the other day. The very first Horus Heresy novel, Horus Rising, came out in April of 2006, and that's nearly 10 years ago.
Wow,
Oh, dude.
That's crazy.
Guess how many books there's been since then for the Horus Heresy?
32 or something?
34.
Oh,
34. Wow.
Disney.
So
Man.
12 books in the Wheel of Time saga. What, 4 for Game of Thrones?
book
Five.
Five for now.
Okay,
5
so
and
5
13.
air quotes. All right. So Wheel of Time took what? Almost 30 years, and then he actually died in the middle of it.
Yeah, I think he's been writing those since the 90s, and
Yeah.
he died before the last 3 books came out.
But
Yeah.
GW is cranked out. Oh, Harry
30.
Potter. Harry Potter did
Harry
what?
Potter.
12 and 10 years?
Books.
7 and
Oh,
10 years. Okay.
and don't forget Terry Pratchett. I mean, the Discworld books are like 40 or 50
Discworld.
books.
Well, maybe that was a bad comparison. Maybe that's what they're going for. Shoot. Oh well. Anyhow, I just hope it doesn't take another 10 years before we see the damn Siege of Terra. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna be
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be a butthurt Larry if I don't get to see the Seas of Terror before I die.
Man, it's been and G-Dub, and I love the books. I love what they do, and I love everything about the Horus Heresy. But there's such a tease about it because like you had those first like 5 books, and you're like, oh my god, it's so good, I can't stop reading it. And then you get like the Buster books, like some of the Dark Angel ones, and you're like, I can't make it through another one of these. And then they bring in Adnet, they bring in 1,000 Suns, and they're like, boom, you're like back in it again. You're like, oh my god, these books are so good. And then it trails off again, and you're like, I can't do it.
Audiobook, dog. I don't,
I have my friends reading the books first so they can tell me which books to skip. So
There you go.
that's pretty nifty.
Make them spend the money because those things are all like, well, some of them aren't even full on books. They're like novellas and small audiobooks or like the compilations where you get like 5 stories in one book. But
Yeah.
man, it's just been, I want the damn Siege of Terror. Anyways, so back to the formations. So these things, so we're going to talk about the top 3 on here because obviously you can go to any website out there, any rumor site, Spikey Bits, Bowls, whatever, check them all out. But for now, we want to talk about our personal picks, which I feel like if we had to rank them, what would you say? We got...
well, we'll rank them. We still have to do the tabletop marketplace. I know you're really excited to talk about your favorite 3, but you haven't even told me about the new books that Forge has been dropping.
Yo, so the word on the street, I guess some folks are saying that in the White Dwarf, that new masterclass book is going to drop. The How to Paint.
And the last, I have the first 2 masterclass books, and it was like it literally upped my game. Like after the first one, I didn't know about
What year did the first one come out?
Like 06. It came out when the
Okay.
Reaver Titan dropped.
There's
so
one
like,
okay, so they put out one back in like 2001, right? Like Citadel's painting guide,
yeah.
and it had a bunch. Dude, that was like when they still had Chestnut ink and
Yep.
Schwarz.
Oh yeah.
They put one out back in those days, right? And I used to own my own gaming store down in South Florida, and we got that book in. A bunch of the people at the store started using it, and literally there was guys in the store who were just like so bad at painting, and then they read this book and like they were like showing me their squads they painted. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Did you paint this? Like people who were like just not good at painting were automatically good at painting. And I can't even and now think about that like evolution of like technique, like ink, fuck ink. It's all about wash. You know what I mean? Now we got pigments. Now we got effects. Like, and now they're putting out books that teach us how to use these. And I think you're saying even in a new masterclass book, they're going to be breaking their new airbrush line, right?
Yep, they got that new airbrush line, and the airbrush line's only like 26 colors actually, but it's like $150 retail, which is kind of nuts. but they got those dope colors that you can't make. Like you want to do the the Sons of Horus, that crazy green, that you can do it. So it's like geared towards the Legion colors. And they got some like crazy stuff in there, like some pinks and stuff that are a little bit harder to find generally, out there in the airbrush market. So I'm pretty stoked. I want to see what they can do. Hopefully it drops this week, so we can start getting that stuff. And then, of course, there was the big rumors over the weekend at the big G-Dub birthday party, 40th birthday party, about all the new stuff coming out. There's like Warlord Titan upgrades and new Primarchs. There's a new Ordinatus, which is that big like 4-treaded tank. You got the Mastodon coming out, which is the new Astartes tank. Like there's just so much stuff that they're going to show off at the Weekender, which is basically a week from today, actually, from the 6th. I think it's February 6th. Yep, it sure is. And that's going to be nuts because those Weekenders are always bananas.
What do you mean? They lock you in some gaming store and you guys play games all night? What happens?
So
go ahead, Rob.
Yeah. Well, you know what's up. Like, so it's at Warhammer World, and you basically play 3 games of Horus Heresy. I think there's Apocalypse game like.
Yeah, they're huge games.
Yeah, like it's all like kind of it's what is it? A narrative campaign from start to finish, like small game, big game, apocalypse game. So it's pretty crazy, super fun. But the big thing is that they always show off new models. You can buy stuff there. Like this weekend they had Korax on sale, the Primarch for the Raven Guard.
I was about to say, am I supposed to know who Korax is?
Yeah, you're supposed to. It's the Primarch.
You know who Korax is. Stop it.
I was like, is Korax some guy who plays Night Lords? Like, who is this?
Yeah, he's got it clearly with a name like that. He's Chaos, right?
Yeah, that's a sick-ass name. Raven Guard need to stop playing around, pretending that they're not Chaos.
No, that's the Blood Angels.
Blood Angels are definitely really closet Chaos.
I'm looking at the Space Wolves over here. They are the ones who are true Chaos.
Oh yeah, they straight take people out. They don't play. They quit school because of recess.
If you actually think about it, they're not Chaos. Just because they're ferocious doesn't make them Chaos. They're like opposite of Chaos. They like don't believe in chance. They just kill things. They're like that will die.
It reminds
you're not fooling me. You're not fooling me.
There's a scene in Prospero Burns where the Thousand Sons librarian is talking to a rune priest, and he's like, "You guys use the warp all the time," and the rune priest is like, "No, we don't." Like it's just like they're in total denial.
What do you think this is? It's not what you think it is. Magic.
It's magic. It's not the warp. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Denial, best way to go around it.
Yep, it's the first step. So, can we talk about the formations now?
No, we're not there yet.
So we got one more thing to talk about real quick.
What is it?
This is exciting. The company called Nomad Games, they did the digital, like computer and tablet version of the venerable game Talisman, which Games Workshop put out like 30 years ago, and then it went out of print, and then Fantasy Flight brought it back as a board game. These guys made the digital version of Talisman, the board game. Well, they are making a digital version of Talisman, the board game, based on the Horus Heresy, and it's called Talisman Horus Heresy, appropriately.
Yep.
And it should go on a pre-order in January, and it'll be released on PC and Mac in February.
Yeah, I like how it just kind of came out of nowhere. It's like, boom, this is happening.
Which is kind of interesting because go ahead.
Sorry, no, because I was thinking like Relic is one of the games that is based on Talisman as well from the beginning, and I'm just curious how much alike will this game be actually to Relic, the one from Fantasy Flight?
Yeah, it's actually really funny because that's exactly what I was going to bring up was that Relic is the board game version of the 40k Talisman. So I don't know how this is going to match up to Relic. Based on their little video on their page, it doesn't look like Relic at all. So. No. It looked actually really cool. I'm definitely going to get it. But then again, I got a GW chip in my head. So whenever they put out a new product, I got to buy it.
Oh, even the digital stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm with you there, Michael. I'm with you there.
Oh, well, it looks dope.
I can't wait to play because I got a tablet now and I've been like just downloading games left and right, playing all these 40k games, just getting addicted. So obviously you're telling me that I'm going to have another game to be addicted to in addition to Fallout 4. But I'll only be addicted to Talisman Horus Heresy while I'm pooping.
Yes.
And it does support 4-player multiplayer. So
you'll be playing with 3 other people while you're pooping.
they're pooping.
That's pooping's for guys, pooping's for gals, pooping's for friends, pooping's for pals.
Pretty much.
Is that the best freestyle rapper in the universe?
Yeah, ROBBB, myspace.com. You got to check that YouTube video out. Veterans, if you haven't seen it, literally Google search for poop freestyle, Rob, MySpace. Best video you ever seen.
It's Rob with 2 B's.
Anyway,
Can't miss it.
closing out the tabletop marketplace. So obviously I've mentioned it already. I was up in Colorado for a week, up in the mountains, hanging out with my lady's parents, and I got an opportunity to meet up with Mike Haspel while I was back in Colorado. He drove up the mountains and he brought that game that he talked about a few weeks ago, Coup.
Yes, it's so much fun.
He hit me up online. He was like, "I'm gonna make you play this game no matter what. You don't have a choice." So he brought a bottle of bourbon with a big eagle on it. He was like, "Drink this, and we're doing this." And the family is a card game family. So first they were apprehensive, like, "We don't want to learn a new game. We've been playing Progressive Gin Rummy for 20 years. This is obviously the best game." Within 3 minutes, Mike had them sold on how amazing, like, card gaming is.
And Kenny just told me I've been playing it wrong for like a year.
Well, I mean, we played it all night. We played it with Mike Haspel and his wife Penny all night with Bonet, me, and her parents, and we played it and loved it. And they just were like, "Damn, we didn't know games like this existed." After Mike gave it to him as a gift after he left, and like we played it for like all night the next day and the next night. Like we played it, right? And then we started getting because now they're getting competitive, right? Because now like they're trying to game it. And so now it's like fights are starting, things are going down. We're having to refer to the rules, and we're like, "Well, hey everyone, this rules book is literally the size of a wallet with 2 pages. So why don't we just read it? Why don't we just read it out loud all together? Because it literally takes like 2 minutes to do that. So we read it out loud to everyone.
So easy.
And we're like, huh? Turns out we should have done that. And now, it is, Coup. Check it out. It is literally like if you're good at poker, you're good at Coup. You know what I'm saying? Like.
The box is so small, you just toss it in your army bag, and this is a good, after the tournament or before a game when you're waiting for somebody or whatever, you can just play this. And it's just tons of fun.
Super, super fun. Coming up with sick combos, learning the gamemanship. It's like, if you're a gamer, you like any kind of game, you're right. Mike Haspel, you're right. I should never have doubted you.
He is the connoisseur of gaming.
He is our aficionado on gaming. Well, I guess we should do a quick Q&A before we go to commercial break.
Yep, no doubt. We got our buddy Bartos here.
Yep, that's me.
So we have prepared a quick Q&A for Bartos. Obviously, I'll give him a quick intro here. Southern Painting, he has been a content provider on thelongword.net, providing some exclusive videos. One of my favorite videos he did was the felt pen trick video, which shows you how simple it is. It's how simple it is to use a pen to get some of those lines and some Eldar tanks and stuff.
Like literally mind blown. When I saw that, I was like, that is so dumb. Why didn't I think of that?
Yo, hey, real quick. Sorry to interrupt. This is for real. So Gundam makes paint pens. I saw them at Hobbytown. There's a gold paint pen, silver, and I've been wondering, I'm like, yo, would those be easy to do trim with?
Bartos, get on it, Bartos.
Sure. The thing is, I did this whole felt pen trick film to show people that you can actually do some really cool stuff, really simple. But this is for tabletop quality. To answer your question, Rob, I would use those pens, but I would be, careful. I'm very much in love with the Vallejo Liquid Gold series. Those are the best metallic paints out there.
Alcohols?
Oh yeah. They're a little bit harder to use, but the results, oh my god,
that'd be a good tutorial to see. They look very good.
Oh yeah, they look good. I use them on most of my models. I'm actually getting into non-metal metallics right now, so but that's a different headache altogether. But it's fun though. I don't know if anyone has seen my librarian going around online on the forums.
I did,
but It's hard.
I thumbs up it. The internet is mainly for telling people how bad they are painting. So So remember that if you go online and you look at any paint jobs that me or Bartol's paints, don't forget to tell us how shitty they are.
Oh yeah, please do. I'm actually I took a course during the holidays now with a friend of mine from Wargaming, and he showed me some techniques with glazing. You were talking earlier about washes and pigments and stuff like that. Forget that. The new things coming up in the painters market are glazes.
Dude.
Oh yeah,
glazes.
make your own glazes and basically build up transitions just with a brush. I mean, I consider myself pretty dope with an airbrush, but what he did with a regular brush and glazes, I was stoked. I basically dropped my jaw 2 floors down.
Damn, I can't wait to see. So, I mean, obviously, Southern Painting, we got some fresh videos coming out. So that'll take me to my first question. What is Southern Painting, man? Like, what are you doing? I heard you had a YouTube channel. What's the goal there?
Oh yeah, no, basically Southern Painting started out like something I just wanted to rant about the hobby. That's how it all started. I started last summer basically, so it's a pretty fresh project. Got in contact with Rob actually, so thank you Rob, with Spikey Bits and stuff like that, started writing articles. So it's been basically growing on its own with my hobby rants. I did one about having a relationship and being a hobbyist. That got a few good laughs around the internet.
That was a good one.
Yeah, people actually liked it. Some people were commenting like, "What? This is like common sense. You should be able to fix this on your own if you're adult." Yeah, but it's still a fun article to write and to share. So basically,
I am first off not an adult.
no,
I play toys all day.
No, we can all agree on that. We all are like basically big boys with big wallets, or bigger wallets, at least than when we were 15.
The only thing that has grown on my body since I was a child is my wallet.
No, so basically the idea of Southern Painting right now is I'm kind of going with the flow and seeing where it's going. I'm doing videos, basically just start learning. And I Kenny, you know my headache with all the software needed to do the videos.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm getting there, and hopefully I'll have this like flow where I release like one video every second week, small tips and tricks on the hobby, small rants maybe, and so on. Plus, I'm looking into the cooperation here with the Long War which I love. So this is where I want to end up basically with the hobby.
Absolutely, man, and we can't wait to see your next video. Taking me to question 2. These are 2 questions we always ask people that we bring on. Obviously, a few weeks ago, we interviewed our boy JP, with the 40k Scribe. We asked him these questions too.
Yep.
This age-old question: what was your first 40k army?
I'll probably answer it the same way as 90% of people answered this question. And it was, of course, Space Marines. I started out, but there's a story behind it, because I started painting Space Marines. I got 2 friends basically who dragged me into the hobby. I started this club with role-playing games, Dungeons and Dragons. I'll tell you more about that later. But they introduced me into 40k, and one of them was playing Dark Angels. And I was like, no, I don't want to play Dark Angels because I don't want to be a copycat and so on. And I thought, the Ultramarines look cool. And then after painting like 2,500 points, I was like, I hate blue. So I stripped everything and painted it red instead.
Blue is the stupidest.
So basically, I repainted my 2,500 points of Ultramarines into Blood Angels, because back in the days, the codexes didn't, there wasn't much difference between Blood Angels or the other chapters. So I repainted everything into Blood Angels, bought like 30 or 40 jump pack models and stuff like that. So I ended up like with 6,000 points of Blood Angels. That was my first army. And then I entered college and sold everything because I couldn't afford or have the time to do my hobby.
Yeah, but luckily you live in Sweden, and at least they gave you price compensation, didn't they?
Oh yeah, no, the prices. I've checked the prices in America. I feel sorry for you guys. We have a very nice discount on these stuff. So no, seriously, like everything is like at least $10 cheaper.
God, I wish I lived there. I would love to be in Sweden.
They probably get health insurance for free.
Not to mention, everyone I've seen in Sweden is beautiful. So,
oh well, depends. I mean, I have a broken nose or something. So I mean, so yeah, but we are famed for it.
We are famous for being taller and more beautiful than the rest of us. Thank you.
Yes, we take pride in that. That's basically it. We invented social democracy, so
that's all we got. You're like, all we have is that we're tall and beautiful, and everything's more affordable here, and we have healthcare, and we have better education. Like, shut up, I hate you, America, you suck. Anyway, so obviously your first army was Space Marines, like so many of us. So what currently is your favorite army in 40k?
My friends are probably going to kill me for saying this out loud, but aesthetically, I love the Tau. I just started my Tau army. I basically, I know, boo hiss, boo hiss. I love them. The mechs, all the robots, they just, they spark my imagination. I love how they're made. So
that's true. I've secretly always dug on the style because I've always been like an anime fan and a comic fan. They have the least grimdark look. They have the most shiny, most advanced look. They have that famous lines that GW is known for. Like they put the lines and everything. They have them in ways that make sense. You know what I mean? I completely agree with you. They look fresh. They just happen to suck.
Which is funny because I hate anime. I actually have this like pet peeves with anime. I don't like it. I don't like the narrative in anime stories or anything. But these models, I don't know, they just make me purr like a kitten. I just love them. But there was a two-sided answer to this because play-wise, I actually love the Imperial Guard. There is something about fielding a massive amount of infantry models that they're just gonna die. That's it. I'm just gonna put them on the table, keep them there for like half an hour or so, and then I'm gonna take them away again. And 30
minutes of looking at these guys' heads and shoulders.
Yeah, pretty much.
And imagining their the gory explosions as they're hit by every bullet in the game. Like, first off, let me explain. Basic bullets in the game are like 75 caliber pistols. And ninja stars that go so fast they go through tanks. So that is what is hitting the guardsmen. So just visualize what happens when they get hit by those weapons.
Not to the first man to die.
Yep.
That's why they have the uplifting primer.
That's right.
Yeah, you can't go home without your commissar, man. Commissar, he's this.
Well, if you've ever read that uplifting primer, it's kind of hilarious because it tells it tells you like why the Tyranids are not scary and that they're probably like more scared of you than you are of them.
Yeah, I love
stuff like that.
Or like the thing about like bandaging a head wound, like you can tell it's like a terminal thing, and they're just like, oh, it's no big deal. You just put a bandage on it and get back on the line.
Yeah.
So if any of the listeners out there love the stories behind these games, I think the uplifting primer is one of those relics that still keeps like this beer and pretzel kind of humor that they had in their stories back in the days. So you should get it. It's such good fun to read.
No doubt. Let's go to question 4, my man. What other hobbies do you enjoy? How did you get into this game? Like, where are you at right now? I mean, you can't just only play 40k.
No. I'm a hobbyholic. My name is Bartos, and I'm a hobbyholic. No, I started off, as I said before, I started off as a Dungeons & Dragons player, basically. I left Dungeons & Dragons really quick and got into this like goth kind of period and started playing Vampire the Masquerade. Have you ever heard about that game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was big on that.
So which clan were you?
I was a Malkavian prince back in the days.
Nice.
Yep. We had this coup where we basically took over like 3 cities and like this major LARP association in Sweden. But those are the grim dark days of my hobbies, and I really don't. I want to forget them so badly.
I'm reminded of Half Baked when they go to AA meetings for smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, weed's not addiction. I used to suck dick for cocaine. Like, I'm like listening to you talk about like, oh, I have these other hobbies. And then you said that. And I was like, nope, that's real addiction. 40K is not an addiction.
Yep. True,
like what you did was an addiction.
Vampire the Masquerade gets real.
You are Bob Saget in that scene in Half Baked.
Yeah. So basically, all these LARPs and it got me into contact with people who do who did the hobby. So I got into Warhammer basically 17, 18 years ago, and been kicking it ever since with a small break during college. That's pretty much it. Aside from that, I do kickboxing. I have done so for like 4 or 5 years, and I'm actually an instructor as well. So I'm a teacher by day, nerd by midday, and ninja by night. Does that make sense?
That is awesome.
Is kickboxing your national sport or something? Or
no, that's Holland. Holland has kickboxing as a national sport. It's like my wet dream. I have 2 wet dreams.
How is Holland and Sweden not the same country? It's pretty much the same country, right?
Well, yeah, let's say it is, and then don't.
Just so you know, I have an American's public education and an American's understanding of world geography.
Oh no, we're part of the European Union, both of us. No, it's close by. I mean,
And Europe is this place on the other side of the world that is basically the size of like a mall, right?
pretty much. I mean, we talk funny, we drink too much alcohol, and we're decadent. That's pretty much
nailed
summarizing.
it. Okay,
yeah.
I got my high school got it right.
Yeah, no, every story you heard about Europeans are true. I'm just confirming that right now. No, but I have two wet dreams. It's, of course, Nottingham, visiting Warhammer World, where it all started, and, of course, Amsterdam and the outskirts of Amsterdam, where all the biggest kickboxing gyms are. Those are my wet dreams, like, right now.
Cool. Very
Pretty
cool.
badass. Haskell, ask him the last and possibly the most important question.
Yeah, so I'm asking this question out of ignorance, but I just wanted to know like what the hobby scene was like in Europe, and if you guys played other miniatures games like Flames of War, War Machine and Hordes, and other stuff like that.
That's kind of a hard question to answer, but I'll do my best. It's kind of split up because, from what I understood, I've been looking around on both American forums and European forums and so on. Like the old Warhammer Fantasy Battles veterans are pissed off all around the world, but especially in Europe. Warhammer Fantasy Battles was basically the love child of the Warhammer scene in Sweden, at least in Sweden, and some other countries as well. When I visited Poland not too long ago, I visited a game store, and they were also like all in tears because they made this Age of Sigmar thing. I don't know. I'm more of on the notion that Age of Sigmar is cool. I love the models, and the game seems pretty easy. I haven't played it yet, so I can't give you an honest opinion about that. But outside Games Workshop, I mean, people are playing a lot of Bolt Action and a lot of Flames of War, which are games for, reenacting World War II. And then Warma Hordes, basically War Machine and Hordes, are very, very popular here as well. And Armada is getting big from Fantasy Flight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
That is very popular.
So the Swedish wargaming scene seems pretty similar to the American, except less fat people.
No.
No?
Exactly the same.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that.
Wait, there's fat people in Sweden.
All the fat people in Sweden.
But they're all beautiful
play 40K.
people.
No, you've been duped. I'm
Fat
sorry.
people are beautiful.
Yeah, we are. No, but seriously, no, the gaming scene is, I would say it's a little bit more conservative. I mean, if you look at, like, for instance, like how people build their armies for competitions and tournaments, there's a lot more conservativeness here in Sweden. People have a very more rigorous, like, penalizing system if you make too powerful armies. Basically, you get penalties for fielding an army that's really, really tough.
Oh wow! So it sounds like the social contract out there is more serious.
Oh yeah,
It's more enforced.
actually, Sweden is, I think, in Europe is the country which has the hardest and toughest tournament rules worldwide. I think somebody did a survey on this. I think it was worse here, and they said in Sweden, if you play tournaments in Sweden, you will get your army the most penalized. If you build like the sickest formations, you will get penalties.
So that's pretty. So yeah, I mean that's kind of like what we endorse here, bringing hobby back, which means bringing hobby scores back to Warhammer 40k. Looks like yet again you guys are ahead of us.
Oh yeah, not necessarily ahead of you, because it basically you can see tournaments where people are fielding plastic gray armies, and that's not bringing the hobby back. Bringing the hobby back would be good for the scene in Sweden, because people need to paint their armies and bring a little bit of love and laughter to the game as well. Not only look at my sick formations and I'm going to win against you, because that's pretty much how I see the scene today. I want to see more love to our small plastic figurines, because I love mine and people should love theirs equally.
So we have a liaison to Sweden.
There we go.
You got to bring hobby back, one beautiful 6'4" person at a time.
Swedish bikini team at a time. Because I mean that's all the people in Sweden, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We'll say that it's like that. Yeah.
Okay. Don't you lie to me.
That's well, that was a good Q&A, man, and I know obviously we're in a 6-hour time difference here. So for the people at home, that means this guy needs to go to bed right now, so he can
go to work in an hour.
Yep, that's true.
So obviously we're gonna go to commercial break, and I just want to say thanks, Bartos, for.
Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me join. All right.
Talk to you later, dog.
Yeah, great talking to you. Get some sleep, man.
Thanks, guys. See you later, and keep it real, fanatics.
All right.
What does it mean to be a veteran of thelongwar.net? You are the first in the door to all exclusive content, and your clearance will be raised for the earliest access. You can enlist for free. When you're a veteran of thelongwar.net, you are the front line to bringing hobby back. Join our Hall of Veterans at thelongwar.net.
And we're back. All right, Rob. Webcast recap time. What you got for us?
Yo, for real. Thanks for everybody that came out to watch the webcast. You know, we always do the webcast an hour before we do the podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern. Gives us a little warm up. We get to, you know, kind of walk through what we're going to talk about and interact with everybody. Talk about some lists. Talk about, you know, some current events. This week we hit on a couple things. Obviously, the formations that we're going to talk about later in the show popped up, so that was cool to get some interaction there. We all just basically assumed that Chaos Space Marines need more lemon.
Yeah, obviously there's a bunch of chaos formations.
no, there isn't. Eldar didn't get any either, so that's cool. Haha, suck it, Eldar. We talked a lot about the Bring in a Hobby Back event because people are hitting us up like, you know, the team tournament we're doing at Adepticon, it's already sold out twice, actually. You know, asking for the rules and such. So we put a link up on our Long War Facebook so you can check out all the tournament packet, all the downloads are all up over there. Go check them out. We'll talk about it a little bit probably tonight too, I imagine. But the big thing is that, you know, there isn't like some crazy FAQ. There isn't some crazy like what's allowed. It's all allowed. There's just a paint score and a comp score. And you're going to be held to that higher standard and that social contract by what you bring, you know, so keep that in mind too.
So did we have anybody asking any questions?
We had some people asking about
because obviously when we record, I can't see the computer. I put it behind me, so I have no idea if anyone asked a question.
There wasn't a lot of specific questions. Actually, the one big question was what you used to seal your power weapons before you paint them. You do that treatment to them.
I guess that's pretty good intel. So go stop what you're doing right now. If you care about seal coating your models, go online or go to your local Hobby Town USA and pick up a can, at least just try one can, of Testors Model Masters Lusterless Flat. It is the best.
Great stuff.
There's literally like every other seal coat I've ever used. I'm a professional painter. I've been hobbying for years. I'm like, this is the best. And then you get a new one. This is the best. They all suck. They're all awful compared to this. Literally, the best ones that I used to use are pure trash compared to how good this is. This has changed my game. This is professional quality in my opinion. I've been using it for years, especially if you live in a humid environment. It's perfect, but no matter what, it's the best.
Now, this is the stuff that comes in the smaller can, right?
Yes, it's more expensive. So you hunt it down on eBay. If you see someone selling it for cheap, literally, like I showed it off on the webcast. I literally have like 20 cans.
Yeah, it is the truth. Kenny's not lying. It is awesome.
Game changer, man. So yeah, that was one of the biggest things I guess we talked about. Like one of the most important, like breaking news. This will change everything. Throw your shit away and buy this.
We're not lying.
Like no doubt.
It turns out.
So I'm glad we did have a good webcast coming back New Year, first video of the new year. Got a bunch of people in there, you know, shout outs. I was really happy to be involved. But I do think that I know Rob's been scattered tonight because I know he's really excited to break these top three. So I'm just gonna let him break this top three right now, and I'm gonna shut up.
You're just gonna let me have it. Actually, before we get to that, I forgot about something I wanted to mention. Bartosz brought it up. There was some new FAQs that Fantasy Flight dropped on December 21st for X-Wing and Armada. Actually, most of the Fantasy Flight's games, they came out with a new FAQ and new tournament rules for a lot of the systems. So if you missed it over the break, go check that out over on Fantasy Flight's game, you know, under the specific section for whatever game you're interested in. Because there's some, as far as X-Wing and Armada, there's some game-changing stuff. And the Store Championship Series season's upon us. So from about now until March, a lot of stores are going to be having those store championships, people trying to make it to regionals and ultimately to Gen Con. So that's going to be cool to see.
Yeah, that reminds me, I got to bust out my Conquest decks again, get back into shape.
Oh, yeah, there's been a bunch of expansions for that stuff, too. So yeah, hitting up the formations. So there's 6 formations that they came out that are coming out with the collector boxes. The Start a New Army box that's coming out this actual Saturday. The 9th? Yes, the 9th from Games Workshop. There's a Space Marine one, a Mechanicus one, Tyranids, Necrons, Imperial Guard, and Tower Empire. But I think our top 3 are probably the Nids, the Marines, and the Necrons. What do you think?
I think I agree. And obviously they're all pretty cool. They're all really balanced and I like them all. I think they're all really useful and they're really good deals. But like, I'll tell you, like, we'll break down the rules of those top 3s and why, but I'll tell you why the other ones didn't make the mix. Like, I love the Mechanicus one, but as far as I can tell, everything in the Mechanicus army already makes it really easy for you to not miss with your shooting weapons.
Yep, I agree with that.
So it's while arguably effective, it seemed almost too redundant for them because it's just literally like another way to twin link guns in an army that have a billion ways to never miss. But it's still worth buying because, as we talked about earlier in the show, it's literally you're basically getting stuff for free for $85. You know, the Imperial Guard one's amazing, like we said, but yet again, same old. Like, it's, you know, getting free cover saves is amazing, but just not quite doesn't have quite as much utility as the other ones. And the Tau one is really interesting, and it is probably the runner up to the top 3, where you get to do this like move and shift. Like I said, we're not going to break them down. We're not going to break those 3 down. Literally, they're on the internet. You can find them anywhere. But we are going to break down our personal top 3 right now. And I think Rob's got the intel right on that.
Yep, no doubt. So the first one is the Space Marine one, which contains the captain, a tactical squad, and a venerable dreadnought. And there's something cool about the venerable that we already discovered. And they have a special rule called Sustained Fire, which is very similar to Fury of the Legion from Horus Heresy. At the start of your movement phase, you can pick one unit from the Fire Spear Strike Force that is within 12 inches of its captain. The unit that you pick can immediately shoot as though it were shooting, or as though it were in the shooting phase, but it cannot move or charge for the rest of the turn. And then it can shoot again in the shooting phase, but it can't run. So basically, it gets to shoot twice. It's really awesome.
Yes, this is one of my favorite formations because it is something that Space Marines don't normally get to do. It's not, you know, it's not like same old with a new skin. It is literally something totally new. And obviously, it makes you take a Venerable Dreadnought. And Venerable Dreadnoughts, you know, they're not the greatest, you know, but there is some tech there. A Venerable Dreadnought, I think, is BS 5.
It is.
And you can give them 2 autocannons. You can give them a missile launcher las cannon. You can give them all 2 shooting weapons. This guy, let me just put in perspective. This guy with 2 autocannons literally hits you with 8 hit-on-2 twin link strength 7 shots in this formation.
That's
like so from 48 inches away. And when they get close to you, they say that you can put this tactical marine squad in a rhino. They can spill out and literally hit you with 40 bolter shots.
Yep.
No joke.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it's really cool. It's obviously not game breaking, but it's very cool. And this is definitely one of my top 3 picks. And obviously, I would say, you know, I don't know if I have a particular order for 2 of these, but I know which one is, I think, the strongest.
I like all of them in general because they seem to stack up well against each other. So if you got a bunch of folks that are just getting these, putting them together and playing them against each other using the boxes, they stack up well too.
Absolutely. And also, I mean, even if you didn't buy the box, I mean, like, who doesn't have some of these models? You know,
so it's good for veterans and, you know,
and beginners
and beginners alike. I think another solid one is the Necron one. I feel like that one. Let me track it down here.
Yes, that one's pretty cool.
I went the wrong way.
You take a Triax Stalker, a unit of Warriors, a unit of Scarabs, and I think an Overlord.
Yep, and you get the Overlord. And their special rule is if a unit of Necron Warriors or Scarabs from the Retribution Phalanx is wiped out, it can return to the battlefield at the start of your next turn. This unit must be set up within 3 inches of the Necron Overlord from this formation.
Now, I have a question about that.
Yes.
We don't have an answer to it. Is that in perpetuity? Because I can just be like, hey, I am going to feed you the same unit of Necrons like 4 times.
I think you get. I think you get to do it. I think you get to do it infinity. Yeah.
Yeah.
See why not? It says if it's wiped out.
That's the point. I think that, yeah, I totally think so. So obviously you have to take the Triarch Stalker to get this, and Triarch Stalker, he's decent. Like, it's one of the coolest looking models that Necrons have. So it's very similar to the Venerable Dreadnought tax.
Yeah,
I'm willing to pay it, and that's obviously very effective. But I think that my top pick is obviously what Rob's going to hit next. I definitely think the Tyranid one is straight up amazing.
Oh yeah, the Tyranid one's pretty dope. So it's the Hive Vanguard formations, and at the start of the formation's movement phase, the Hive Vanguard's unit of gargoyles is within 18 inches of its Hive Tyrant. It can swoop forth, air quotes, instead of moving. Remove the unit from the battlefield, even if it is locked in combat. It then immediately arrives anywhere on the board using the rules for Deep Strike, and it will not scatter if it attempts to Deep Strike within 6 inches of the Tyranid warrior.
What is it? Is it gargoyles, warriors, and a Hive Tyrant? What is in this formation?
So you get one Hive Tyrant, one unit of warriors, and one unit of gargoyles.
So you can take a max squad of gargoyles,
yep,
a Hive Tyrant, and obviously you can take any warrior you want for the Hive Tyrant or not.
I don't see why not. It just says formation one Hive Tyrant.
Yeah, so you take a flying Hive Tyrant,
yep,
which is obviously amazing. A unit of like 30 gargoyles and a unit of warriors. This is straight up amazing. I mean, think about the applications. I mean, this is like literally, you can spread this unit of gargoyles out, literally engage your entire army,
mm-hmm,
and then and you can fly the Hive Tyrant in behind them or over them and shoot somebody up and lock this whole unit in close combat, this whole army in close combat, right? And then you can say, and turn 4, out of combat, over here, back to my objective.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then you can fly and keep the Hive Tyrant near them. And then the next turn you can do it again. There's no limit.
Mm-mm.
Like, this is straight up. This is like shunting, like a Grey Knight shunt move, as many times as you need it, and out of combat.
Yeah. It was better when the Necrons could do it in 4th.
Well, sure. But yeah, and the fact that you can have a poop ton of gargoyles is kind of ridiculous too,
Oh my God, dude. It's there's so much play there. Like, think about playing Hammer and Anvil. Like, literally on turn 1, you just say the gargoyles on the center of the table.
Oh God, it gets you. And because you can Deep Strike them, they just don't scatter if you 6 inches within a Tyranid warriors.
They can keep up with the Hive Tyrant, is what I'm saying too. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm,
like, it is just one of the most intense things I've ever heard of. Like, I love that formation would make it into any army I play. Like, I can't see all the people who are playing like 4 Hive Tyrants, like, automatically this is now one of your Hive Tyrants. This formation's in your army.
And I'm such a noob. I don't even know what all the Tyranid warriors can do because they were kind of a throwaway unit.
They're a troop choice.
Yeah, they're a troop choice.
So obviously they're not objective secure in this, but they have 3 wounds. They can have a whole bunch of weapons. But I mean, you just take him to hold something in your backfield in this army. I wouldn't even worry about the Deep Strike thing, like the scatter thing. That's just dead to me. Like, what I'm saying is, if like you play the Skyblight shit, the 3 Hive Tyrants and the Mucolids.
Yep.
You take that plus this. Now you have 4 Hive Tyrants and a unit of 30 gargoyles that goes infinity.
Yes.
I mean, and then you can take some lictors or whatever, sprinkle it in. This shit is amazing. Like, this will make competitive play. The other ones, I don't know if they'll make competitive play. Maybe. I mean, maybe I don't know, but this is like, maybe you can take for the Necrons, you take like a minimum warrior squad and a maximum scarab squad, and then you just take a Necron CAD and you take 3 spiders. And so
you keep adding them to the one that'll regen.
Yeah, like, literally you just, I mean, like, I don't know, but like, you can basically make an absolutely invincible spider unit. It's a scarab unit. Because like, you can just add new units to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they do kill it, it's like, here it is again, and I'm adding new units to it, new models to it. Like, I mean, that might work. The Track Stalker, I think the Track Stalker and the Venerable Dreadnought hold both of them back. And obviously the warriors are involved in the Necron, in the Tyranid army, but like, warriors can take weapons, they can take upgrades, they can go inside of a bunker with a comms relay. They can do things that the walkers can't do. So they get the gold star of more useful in a lot of situations. And obviously, flying Hive Tyrants are literally one of the best things in 40k.
Oh, without a doubt.
And infinite moving units of because gargoyles have all these special rules, like all these poison rules and shit. Like, gargoyles also move fast. They're jump troops. Like, literally, a unit of models that moves 12 inches a turn that can move infinity inches any turn it wants. Like, literally, takes the cake. Number 1, this is a good time to be a 40k fan or a 40k veteran. Like, these formations are legit.
Yeah, I think they're solid. They bring some value to these box sets. Not that there isn't enough value already, and we already touched on that, but it's good all the way around. Man,
absolutely. So I'm glad we talked about that. Like I said, I've been in a Fallout 4 hole for a while, so I didn't even know. This is the first time I've ever heard of that.
Well, they just dropped today. You're not too far out of the.
Oh my God! Thank God.
your Fallout hole, really.
So Fallout. Like I was talking to David, my brother, and I talk about him all the time, and we both are Fallout 3 fans, like crazy hard. And he's like, he hasn't have it yet either, but he's like, been reading stuff online about it. And he was like, I don't know. A lot of people say things. I was like, let me put it this way, dog. If you are like me and you think Fallout 3 is the best video game, best single player game you've ever played, which David and we both agree that it is. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, then Fallout 4 is the new best single player game you've ever played.
Wow.
Like, Oof. It is so good. But enough of that. Obviously, this is a 40K podcast. Rob, I think we have some exciting things to talk about with the Long War Bringing Hobby Back Doubles tournament.
Yeah, we sure do. So check out the link over on the Facebook page. That'll get you to the downloads area on the Long War site to get the rules packet. So we got 3 missions. There's a comp score. There's a painting rubric. And then also just some general stuff in there, like 1,000 points each and things like that.
We discuss the sport. We give you the percentage breakdowns. We're using a 100-point system, so it's really easy. All the percentages actually equal points. Mm-hmm. We assign percentages to the comp, the painting, and the sportsman. We actually provide you with the comp scoring and the painting scoring, and we don't provide you with the sportsmanship scoring. You can do it however you want. We suggest doing it at the end of the event. That's our style. And figuring out the scores that way. But a lot of people like to do it during the event. So we leave that kind of open-ended. You can download this packet. You can throw the missions directly in the trash and just use the scoring sheet if you want.
Well, and the missions are geared towards doubles. Just keep that.
Yes, exactly. The missions are geared toward doubles, so it doesn't matter. You can do rulebook missions, whatever. What we're mainly selling here for free, by the way, is a scoring system that helps you bring hobby back in your local area. And speaking of local areas, the word on the street is good friend of the show, Horton, aka the greatest 40K player of all time, who plays Demon King, greatest
Khorne Demon King player of all time.
He called us the other day and he pulled the trigger on reserving a spot at Atomic Empire, which is one of the most amazing gaming stores I've ever been in. It is here locally in Durham, in North Carolina. It is fucking amazing. Gigantic play area. We literally squeezed 50 people in there before it with room to spare playing 40K, and they have a beer license.
Mm-hmm.
So that is so tight.
So money, obviously, and they don't price gouge you. They literally just buy the beer with their license and they just sell it to you for reasonable prices. So like you can drink all day. So these guys are going to be running a primer courtesy of Horton, the greatest Demon King player of all time. And he's going to be using the packet, using the missions, using the rules with one caveat. If you don't have 2 people to fill out your team, you can be a 1-man team with the 2 armies just to get the primer in.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that idea.
So that's going to go down to February 20th, I believe. So that's, okay. I want to give a round of applause to Horton for being a beast. Thank you, Horton. And he asked permission, even though he didn't have to. Literally, we put these out there for the world.
Yeah, that's Saturday, February 20th. Yeah, that's pretty dope. I think we'll probably do something down here in Fayetteville as well. Maybe something in March, get another primer going. So if you're on the East Coast or Mid-Atlantic region, want to check it out, want to bring that hobby back before the Adepticon event, one of these 2 events will definitely be your chance.
That's cool because if you're a little bit south of Durham and south of Fayetteville is going to be an easy drive for you in March. And if you're a little north of us, obviously Durham's going to be an easier job for you in February.
Yeah, North Carolina's an interesting state, how it's all laid out and things. But yeah.
So you talk about down there at the local Hobbytown USA?
Yep, in Fayetteville. Should be good. Nice big store. I mean, not quite as big as Atomic Empire. They don't have beer, but it's a nice clean store. Great tables, great atmosphere, good lighting. So
can't wait, man. Like I'm definitely going to try to come down there. And also, I guess something that's interesting in the local scene is we're going to try to do another 3-part series inside the mind of a tournament player Obviously, those are breaking on YouTube right now. If you're a veteran of the Long War, you've already seen the videos because we are now on a 2-week model. You get to see all the battle reports, all the tutorials, everything. You get to see that straight up 2 weeks early.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to find ways to give more value to the veterans. We want to thank you guys for supporting us. It matters. And so this has been an interesting series, the Inside the Mind of a Tournament Player.
The bird's eye view.
It's our prototype into bringing the show to the road and trying to find a way to non-invasively film our tournament games. So we don't have to like slow the game ready to play down. We think we did it. The feedback has been very positive. And so we're going to try another 3. And we're going to be down here in Raleigh at Event Horizon, a guy named Richard. He's British, so you know he's official. He's going to be running that series. I think it's the Warlords Gaming Club.
Oh gosh,
is what they're a part of. I want to say Warlords.
I think that sounds right.
Sounds right. And these guys do a big tournament series out here. They're great guys. They're using the ITC format, but they've updated some of the things in it. You know, obviously we've talked about it many times. Love Reese, love Frankie. These guys are such hard workers. They got this document out so everyone can play 40K. You know how our personal feelings are, that we feel like a way to police comp is through sports, is through scores, like competition scores and sports scores, bringing hobby back. Mm-hmm. We think it's a little bit more efficiently than trying to have a document that you have to update every time a rule comes out with ban lists and with updates to rules. So we're both trying to do the same thing. We're just trying it in different ways. And so we're going to be showing you our support for an ITC style event. We're going to be down there. We're going to be playing Chaos Demons this time instead of Chaos Space Marines. Mainly to not bore you guys to death with another 3 videos of the same army. But also, additionally, we're going to be illustrating why some things work in some formats and some things don't. Because obviously what you guys are getting used to watching me play on the last 3, that is not what I would play in an ITC event. So we're going to be obviously breaking down new tactics, showing you guys new explanations, and hitting you guys with all the freshest inside my own mind. Obviously, as we've said before, pretty fun to be a part of that. Maybe we'll bring on Mike Haspel in rotation to help us call these things in the next 3.
Oh, that would be fun
if he's got time. So obviously, you know, these are fun to do. We've been having a lot of fun with these, and obviously, look at that. I don't want to talk you guys' ears on that, but we do also have to do a major shout out.
Oh yeah,
to the Kickstarter people.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yo, thank you so much, guys. We were able to pick up some really great equipment, start taking these battle reps to the next level that we're recording. Man, it's been really humbling.
got a new fresh camera.
Yep.
You know, literally
new lighting.
$1,000 camera right off the gate. We would have never been able to afford. We got new lighting, which is fresher and cleaner LEDs and cooler. So we actually are keeping it icy in there because you can't tell when you watch, but it's literally 100 degrees in there because we're poor people and all we can afford is a bunch of halogen lights.
So imagine working in your garage on your car under those lights, recording a battle report.
Because you need bright lights, you know, but so those are like those that we bought all those, every one of those lights, we bought it for like $50 total.
Yeah.
We have a new setup that is like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's brighter, it's cleaner, and it's cooler. Thank you guys. And we're going to be sending out the stuff. We're gathering. We're talking to our manufacturers. The prizes and the rewards are going out very soon.
Yeah, the early bird stuff should go out very, very soon. We wanted to get it out by the end of December, but it just wasn't feasible.
This was a bad year to send packages around Christmas.
Yeah, stuff just literally just disappeared for a lot of folks.
Judgment call. We said we're not going to ship it until afterwards. We just had to say, you know what? People are losing their packages left and right. We can't do that to the veterans.
Yep. So we're on it. We'll get there. We'll get it out. We'll post some updates here soon on the Kickstarter page.
So I wanted to shout out Mr. Haspel here with a real quick pipe dream. Like obviously we've talked about a lot of things. We've interviewed some people tonight. This is our first show of the new year. Juice is not with us. We will talk about that right after this next segment. But I do want to ask Haspel, like, what's your pipe dream?
Well, right now, my hobby pipe dream is I'm trying to get my stuff ready for the LVO. And it shouldn't be a pipe dream. It should just be, hey, let me just play this for the LVO. And it's not working out that way.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not a pipe dream. You're going to.
That's something you should do.
Right?
Yeah, so I have a surprising amount. I decided what I was running was I was initially going to run pure Grey Knights for that event. And then I just, the Grey Knight army leaves a lot of holes that need to be filled, especially in an ITC format event and something as competitive as the LVO. So I needed to bring in some help. And I initially was running some Space Marine allies, but then right around Christmas, GW put out that elimination maniple from the Cult Mechanicus, and that caught my eye. So I built all those dudes already, and now I have to get them painted and based and all done. And my Grey Knights are still not done because my Grey Knights are old. So because I was bringing stuff in there, I had to take all the Terminators that came originally with halberds and now outfit them with swords. So I think I've rated eBay for all the swords, like all the old swords. Wow. All the old metal ones, I think I bought them all.
Yeah, because the halberds used to be the truth, and now they're not the truth.
Yeah, so
because it used to be a power weapon, and power weapons ignored armor, and they were +2 initiative.
Yeah, the initiative thing.
Yeah.
So now they're unwieldy. So it's like,
well, now
hammerhand.
The biggest thing is you have to pay for them now, and I just don't have the points.
Yep, they're not free.
So I'm like, it's just 2 points, but it's coming in very, very tight. So I think I'll probably be painting not literally while I'm getting on the plane, but probably pretty close.
Dude, do you guys? Oh my God.
How many times have we done that? Like all the times.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing a game with Steve Turner, the greatest 40k internet troll of our generation. I'm gonna be playing a game with him on Friday. We're gonna film it for one of those Inside the Mind of Tournament Player style battle reports. And he has been sending me pictures. He's on vacation. He's been sending me pictures. He's painting his models right now. Like he's at his mom's house and he's painting these bikes up. So for this battle report on Friday.
The worst I've ever had it was me and Tim Baptist in a team tournament in Chicago. It might have been 2005, 2000. No, it was earlier than that because it was like we were in the Lord of the Rings team tournament at a GT in Chicago in Rosemont. I think it was.
Oh, and it was at Rosemont.
I think it was in Rosemont. We were painting and flocking stuff in the bathroom like an hour before the tournament started.
Oh my God!
Hey, what are you guys doing in there?
We're doing stuff.
Yeah,
we're doing. Well, everybody else was asleep in the room, so we're trying to just like keep it quiet, and so we're in the bathroom like painting the last of the things and basing all the figs. It was insane.
Classic Mike Haspel, Tim Baptist shenanigans.
I know, right?
Yep. Well, it's been a good show, and I hate to obviously end the show on a sad note, but it has to happen. So obviously we're not going to do any of our normal antics when we go out on the show today. Juice, he did reach out to us and he asked me to read something that he wrote. For everyone here, and obviously anyone who listens to our show, and obviously, like I said, I feel really bad, obviously taking this fun show to a halt, but real life happens, and so here is what Juice asked me to read, and I'll tell you, I read this with a heavy heart. With the latest scan, the cancer has spread. The chemo hasn't stopped it, and we are now looking into experimental treatment, which could be even more deadly than good. AKA not looking good for the home team. Please pray to whoever God you believe in for my father.